Good morning, and thank you for joining us for SBB Live. I am your host and the publisher of Seniors Blue Book, Amanda Barton. Really excited today to bring on one of our new partners from the waters of Cape Coral, Miss Mary Jenkins. How are you this morning?
Good. Thank you, Amanda. Thanks for having me.
Absolutely. Now, you may be new to the waters, but you are not new to the industry. So tell me a little bit about yourself and how you got started and your why. Why
My
you
why?
do. Yeah.
Well, Amanda, that was just decades ago. But anyway, I think a lot of folks can relate to this. It comes back to having a grandparent in a long-term care opportunity and curious minds, and you were trying to figure out as a kid, what does this mean? What does that look like? Why is she here? How can I help her? How can I enrich her day? So it does kind of spar the mind thinking. And then I was actually in property management for years and fell into assisted living and a novice walking in the door and not knowing a thing. So being able to be mentored by some amazing people through a couple different companies, and then been in the Southwest Florida market now for, gosh, 12, going on 13 years. So, as a community here in Cape Coral, and I think healthcare on a whole, we're fortunate here to have such great resources and persons of different disciplines that we can reach out to now virtually, but um, to pool our resources to really help folks. And I think that's why we're all here. That's why I'm here.
Absolutely. That is the why. I don't think any of us are necessarily in it for the money. That's the common
No,
misconception that a lot of folks have. Now,
right.
tell me a little bit about the waters over at Cape Coral, a pretty brand new community. What are some of your specialties and your levels of care?
Yeah, so here's what's unique. The Waters is located just north of Veterans Parkway on Chiquita. And if anyone knows Cape Coral, we're nestled in a residential neighborhood. And I think location, as they say in real estate, is critical because when somebody for the first time that's been in their home for 50 years walks through our door, it really feels like their neighborhood, truly. It's nothing industrial. It's a great location. And Civitas is our parent company. I give them a lot of credit for the physical plant features. It's very open concept, not a lot of long, narrow hallways. It's very light and bright, and it's a mix of traditional decor and modern. So it appeals to both families, the residents. It's light and bright, tons of windows, high ceilings, and very accessible. So for aging in place, that's huge. Here's an attribute, an amenity that we have that I haven't seen in many other assisted livings, especially freestanding assisted livings, is a full-fledged therapy gym. So, that resident moving in, coming from rehab, we believe in care of choice and continuity of care. And so our wellness director will say, hey, you can continue that PT or OT right here on site. So it's the intimacy of a relatively small community, 106 apartment homes total, but giving one all of the levels of support that they might need. So we're assisted living and 34 suites in our cottage are our memory care apartment homes. And some unique, very unique physical plant features. For example, if I can just speak to for a second, the typical memory care neighborhood has, very open studio type suites. We have a companion opportunity where it's two full-fledged studios. I'm going to call it a water closet on both sides, and then they share a shower. So it does defer some of the cost of a private suite. So still garnering your privacy, but it's a companion opportunity. So the Waters really has some unique physical plant features that I haven't seen in any other community.
Now, you talked a little bit about the different things that you offer. Can you talk to me a little bit about the levels of care that you offer there, like what your licensure is, and maybe tell us a little bit of the differences between your licensure and some others?
Yeah, well, as many or some people don't know, there are three assisted living licensures in the state of Florida. We're a standard. And we chose that because with all of the third-party opportunities, whether it be visiting nurses or home therapies, one can still age in place and receive additional support. For example, if it's comfort care through, we use Hope Hospice and they could come in and make that loved one comfortable to the very end of life. These second licenses, LNS, and then there's ECC. And having worked for other communities that have those licensures, say that 3 times fast, that just allows them upon inception to receive a client that is more total care. So we're very particular. Our wellness director is going to make sure that somebody moving into the waters is appropriate, and we're not going to promise services that we feasibly can't provide because of their diagnosis. So I think that's why it's good that the Cape especially has communities with different licensures, and the price will reflect. So for example, in our assisted living, we have studio 1 bedroom and 2 bedroom. Many of our clients right now are coming in with a very low acuity or not needing a level of care, but they know they're going to age in place and may add that support later in life. And that could be minimal from $350 a month all the way on up to $1,100, simply depending on that type of personal need. So there's a lot of flexibility here, and you're going to see a very agile individual. Now, in a year or two, of course, that'll change, but we are attracting a very independent resident, if you will.
Yeah, that's exactly why I brought it up. I really do think the standard license, you typically are going to see a much more independent resident that is just a little concerned that they may need a touch of care at some point. So you
exactly
have the walkie talkies there.
We do. We have those that still drive, which, we're going to monitor a little bit, but it sort of takes away that misnomer of, oh, assisted living, they're all very high care. That isn't true.
Right.
And that's why I think now, even with COVID, oh, Lord have mercy, it's a good time to come and take a look. It's a brand new community. We just opened in August. The conditions are pristine. We have some excellent protocols in place. So coming in for a tour, I can't think of a better time. We have 30 residents here to date, and they're all engaged. They're really enjoying themselves. Yes, they'd love to get out and visit their friends, but that will be forthcoming. But I don't want COVID to put a damper on families of being able to come and visit us or anyone else. I think it's a really good time to look.
Sure, sure. And now that we're in the new year, do you have any New Year specials happening?
Well, we really haven't had to do too much by the way of incentive. We don't believe in incentivizing, but we look at each family scenario specifically because, let's face it, there's a lot of stress and dynamics in every circumstance. So our sales director, Beth Sanger, if you call now, she might be able to help out with some of that initial move cost or that upfront fee that you might see in the typical assisted living. So just to help our resident get moved, get acclimated without breaking the bank, but we don't necessarily reduce our rents because we want our residents to take advantage of the full service that they're signing up for.
All right, perfect. Well, thank you so much for coming on the show, and I just appreciate
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Well, we're excited. Happy New Year, everyone, and 2021, here we come.
Yes.